thegearnetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
Hi, this is Jeffrey Weissman. You might know me from all sorts of films and TV shows. Pale Rider, Twilight Zone, Back to the Future 2 and 3, Saved by the Bell. I don't know what you know me from, but know me now from All Bets Are Off with Robbie Vegas.
What's up, rock soldiers, and welcome back to the All Bets Are Off podcast. Took a little week off there, but we're back, and I am not alone today. And this is actually going to be a dual episode, and you're about to find out why.
It's your boy Chaz, and welcome to the crossover event of the millennium. It's the All Bets Are Off podcast / Fantasy Football Bros podcast. And to my left, I am joined by...
What's up, guys? It is the no nickname, no nonsense Adam Van Houten here, hosting the show today.
Here's the deal. I know you're wondering why All Bets Are Off and Fantasy Football Bros. Oh, 1, 2,
We've had
3.
We've had injuries with that before. Be careful.
Oh, yeah, the one that
Cheers,
broke.
guys.
Cheers.
It's a nice little break, but we're back to it.
Yeah, so why we're doing this crossover? Well, see, it's not going to make sense to you. This has nothing to do with football, and it has nothing to do with rock and roll, horror movies,
Or wrestling.
We're just, this is just a crossover.
Maybe a little wrestling, because, Robbie, from our understanding, you just got back from a nice little vacation in Brooklyn.
I did. I got the call to come to Monday Night Raw again, and I got to film a little segment in a fancy 5-star restaurant.
Hang on, let me get a basket to catch all the names you're about to drop. I don't want them to hit the ground.
I'm going to keep it...
The only basket we want is from Chris Jericho.
Yeah, he hasn't sent us one since September. So I got to do another segment with Rey Mysterio, Dom, and Rhea, and Ray's lovely wife, Angie. And
Picking those up, sorry.
it was cool, man. And actually, so Adam asked me before we started recording, so I'll answer it now. It actually was a real 5-star restaurant. I'm not even kidding you. This place was beautiful. And the crazy part about it is it was inside the Barclays Center.
Wow.
And it was gorgeous, man. Like, we walked in and I was like, is this always like this? Like, I really thought it was set up for TV. Nope. That is the restaurant in the Barclays Center.
But they didn't let you scum eat.
They let some of us eat. I was not one of the people. I had to wait for the catering. As everybody else was eating and having their small talk, I was looking over a wine menu for 3 hours.
Well, did you find any wines that you like?
I did. They were all from Italy.
Ooh.
Hey.
I hear those are the best ones.
Yeah.
Sweet. I like a sweet wine.
I do too. I do too.
So, guys, Robbie, nice job on the Raw weekend.
Yeah,
good
it was
for you.
fun. And
What are we doing here?
Where were you?
What do you mean?
You went to
Oh, yeah. Where was I? I was home watching your segment.
Well, yours was a week before.
The week before, yeah. For all you that don't know, I got really into roller coasters this past year because I'm going to be honest, I was a big puss about them and was afraid of them. And I've decided to force my way on them. And I went and rode, and me and my niece for our birthdays went to Universal Studios, and I rode the brand new Velocicoaster, which is absolutely insane. Like, absolutely insane. Highly recommend. So it was a fun little trip. Literally flew in, went to the park, flew home.
Well, I'll tell you what. Adam brought these Angry Orchards for us, and happy birthday to you. So cheers.
Hey,
Happy birthday.
How old are you now? 58?
yeah, I'm about not yet, but I'm about to be 37.
Nice.
So
Good for you, man.
So
37 long years. I haven't gone anywhere, in case you guys were wondering.
that's cool. You're holding down the fort.
I will be going somewhere.
Where are you going?
I'll be at the end of March. We're going to visit country music superstar Eric Van Houten.
Good. Maybe you can get my money from him.
I'm going to work on it. Hey, you got to take it up with him.
I've been. So the reason we're doing this crossover event is because
guys, what are we doing here?
Football's over for me.
Yeah.
So there's really not much to talk about.
There's always something to talk about. We'll figure it out.
And me and Robbie always like to do these like lists, but we've realized we haven't done a draft in a long time.
Long time.
It's been a while.
So
And I wasn't on the last one.
were you on the last one?
What was the last one?
I don't even remember.
I think it wasn't it your the one that you did with Mitch and Joey Quesada.
Oh my God.
I believe
Maybe
that
it
was
was.
I believe
It's been a
that
long
was the
time.
last one.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
been a
If that was
Long time ago.
Well, didn't we do one of our either cartoons or TGIF after that?
Yeah, I don't remember which.
I don't know if it was out. I think we did ours before.
But either way,
Wow.
here we are.
Here we are.
And I decided, knowing we're all a fan of this, and there's a lot of fan of this in the world, so we're going to do a draft on the best, our favorite stand-up comedians.
Yes. I'm excited about this.
This is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Now, the rules are, guys, not comedy actors.
Right. They have to have...
Stand-up comedians
Yes.
who have probably transitioned into the acting world, but their main career path was being a stand-up comedian. Their start was being a stand-up comedian.
And
They're on a stage in front of a bunch of people in a small venue.
My rules, the way I looked at it was, you look at somebody like Will Ferrell. You know Will Ferrell from acting. Sure, he's done some stand-up. Nobody would call Will Ferrell stand-up.
Right.
Somebody say like Drew Carey. He was both.
Right.
Drew Carey got his show because of his stand-up career.
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of like, that's the way we look at it.
I just thought of one. I have to write this down real quick.
Hey, Drew Carey.
No. No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
He's adding Drew Carey to this. So, Adam, you got some cards?
I got some cards in front of me, guys. I already shuffled them up and mixed them up. Host, Robbie Vegas, why don't you go ahead and draw the first one
This one's calling
to
me.
determine your order.
Oh,
He always
shit.
picks third.
Third.
That is incredible.
He always picks
I can't
third.
believe you called that.
Yeah, he always does.
Are you a prophet?
That was real, too. Like,
So- that
was
for the people
legit.
listening, that was legit.
So let me grab my ace here, right? My
Go ahead,
ace of
let's
the
see.
deck. Oh,
Oh,
I got
all right.
deuce.
Baby,
Now.
she was worth a deuce.
Honestly, I wanted to get third because the two guys I want, I was hoping to get back to back. So we'll see.
Here's the thing. First sucks because I have a lot of picks before my next one.
So we're doing 5 rounds.
We are
So there'll
doing
be a total of 15 stand-up comics, and we're going to talk about, what we think about them, our thoughts about them, if we can, if we've memorized a quick bit or whatnot.
Oh, man.
That's
so
the
many.
thing too. It's like, for instance, when I mentioned Drew Carey's not going to be on my list because I don't know him for stand-up, so I'm not just going to throw him in there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Agreed.
So it's got to be something you love, and I know these guys love stand-up, and I certainly do too.
I definitely do.
So, we're kicking it off with the no nickname,
No nickname, no
nonsense.
nonsense. That's me, guys, in case
Adam
you're wondering.
Van Hout.
All right.
Number one pick
first
overall.
pick.
Now, this is going to be a tough one because to be honest with you, I was really hoping for 2 because I knew that I could get this guy, maybe. But my first one, I have a question for you guys. Do you guys know what the 7 dirty words are?
Oh, you son of a bitch! Already,
Wow.
already snaking me.
Really?
Already?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Alrighty
It's my
then. Do you know what they are?
That's my favorite. I don't know what it is, but he's my favorite comedian of all time.
He is an absolute classic,
Yeah.
legend in the comedian world.
Fuck, shit, ass. Wait, eat. Fuck.
Shit, piss, fuck,
shit,
cunt,
piss, fuck,
cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits.
Yep. Shit.
You want to
The
tell us
7
what you're talking
dirty
about?
words. George Carlin, number
There's
1 overall pick.
And he's well worth it. He would have been mine.
So I was debating on 2. I'm going to wait on the next one, but George Carlin is just a legend. And it was a really sad day when he passed away all those years ago.
And everything he talks about, like if you listen to his 80s and 90s and early 2000s shit, talking about
None of it could be aired today.
Well, but just talking about how the world is getting soft and how the government is just trying to betray you. Like, I'm not getting crazy tinfoil hat conspiracy stuff, but he's right.
Yeah.
I remember in his It's Bad For You segment, I think that was like 2005, he's talking about, kids are getting soft with the participation trophies and this world is getting soft and look at it now.
Yeah, I agree. And speaking of stuff that you probably shouldn't say in 2023, but one of my favorite segments that he does, or his bits that he does, is the list of people that should die. And going through that list and hearing it and just the different ways that he wants to kill them and who should die is just absolute comedy. I love it.
I have a whole bunch of his vinyl records. I love him. I had a bunch of his CDs, his DVDs. Like, he is my favorite comedian. Him and the guy I'm going to pick were my 2 guys that I was struggling
So that was going to be your first pick.
Maybe. Actually, when I was saying, I said I was going to go and pick this other guy first because I thought Carlin would get to me, but I was wrong.
Oh, all right.
I was completely wrong. Do you have any memories of Carlin? Were you ever into him?
I was briefly when I was a teenager, but I kind of fell out of it.
He was before our time.
Yeah, he was.
But as I discovered, like, the comedians from our time that I really got into, I kind of fell off from him. But yes, I think that's like, maybe I shouldn't speak for everybody, but I feel like he's like the gateway to stand-up comedy. Yeah.
That was kind of my thought process on the number 1 overall pick as well. I feel like if you really want to get into stand-up, at some point when you go down that rabbit hole, you will wind up on George Carlin.
Yeah. And I was
whoever you're searching for will eventually lead you down that path. So.
And there's a few other guys too that I'd throw into that category that I won't mention just in case you guys are going to pick them, and I don't want to talk about them too soon. But there's a couple other guys that I would throw into that same category.
Yeah, we'll get to them.
So the way I'll move on to my pick, but the way I'll break it down is overall, George Carlin's my favorite. I think he's my favorite comedian ever overall. But my favorite, special, and, what this artist has done in his career, but overall, and I know Robbie knows this one. Let me give you a quote, Robbie, and see if you can now who this is. Just sprinkle some crack on him.
I knew you were going to say that. So I actually purposely did not put Dave Chappelle on my list because I knew that you were going to try and get him first.
I had him on my list for sure.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect him to go in the first round.
Oh my God, he is.
But well deserved of it.
Killing him softly.
That's my favorite one. Killing him softly.
Absolutely.
Is the greatest, I think, the funniest stand-up special ever. His stuff about Sesame Street.
Yes.
Bird, I'm sick.
Yeah.
I need some snack, Bird.
So the only reason I didn't, I knew you were going to pick him, but his more recent stuff is still funny, but it's not as good as Killing Him Softly. So that's
how do you top
right?
That?
Yeah, that was his best one,
or
hands down.
Or
then he went on a little hiatus for years.
Or the baby in the nightclub, selling weed.
Yeah,
yep.
on the corner.
And then he was in the nightclub.
I got kids to feed.
I got kids to feed. Oh, I knew I was in the ghetto. It's got all this ghetto stuff. Gun store, liquor store, gun store.
Where the fuck you taking me? He said, I saw a baby on the corner, so I cracked the window. Hey, baby.
So this, to me, I can quote this to this day. I probably haven't watched it in 10 years. This is from 99. Mm-hmm. This had such a big impact on me. And,
we used to quote it all the time.
It's hard-pressed to find, you can maybe argue one guy, but it's hard-pressed to find a comedian that got his own show that was better than the Chappelle Show.
That's true.
Yeah,
the Chappelle Show for the 3 seasons were top fucking notch. And he was smart, and he left on top because he knew he could only go so long.
I do agree with that. And his last few were funny, but Killing Him Softly was just so good.
Yeah, that was the best one.
Dave.
I'm gonna race him. I couldn't say shit to the guy.
Yeah.
Chip turned his music up. We're not gonna take.
What a great special, and
we used to quote that all the time, nonstop.
And that's one that you can watch 10 years from now and still laugh your ass off.
Yeah,
it's already.
I love that.
God, 20.
It's already been
4 years old. Holy shit!
Whatever, dude.
We are getting old.
Whatever, dude.
We are getting old.
I was in New York City. Now, I was hanging out with a friend of mine. He's a white guy, We were just hanging out. And we were lost in the city. We were smoking a joint. Now, I don't know if it was a coincidence that we were lost and high and shit, but... my white buddy, he was smoking a joint. Dave, it's the goddamn cops. I'm gonna ask him for directions. I said, Chip, no! Chip, don't do it! It was too late. He was walking over there. This man was high as shit. Excuse me, sir. Touching him and shit. Excuse me. Need some information. Start confessing things he shouldn't confess. I'm a little high. All I want to know, which way is 3rd Street? The cop was like, hey, take it easy. You're on 3rd Street. You better be careful. Go ahead, move it. Move it. And that's all that happened. That's the end of the story. Now, I know that's not amazing to some of you.
Sure, I guess it's my turn.
Back to back.
Oh, that's right. So I don't have to be as careful as I thought.
So I think I know. I think I might know.
Give us round one important.
I think I might know one of your picks. I'm gonna let you say them, and then I'll let you know if I was thinking them or not.
I got 2 that might be in jeopardy, but I got one that I really want to pick first.
Take them first.
Well, you have 2 picks.
All right, so I'm actually going to go with one that I think is safe, but I just really want to say this guy first is Sebastian Maniscalco.
Okay.
I love this guy. I think he's hilarious. When he tells stories about his Italian family, I relate. I think it's so funny. The things that he says are just... They're so true, but the way that he says them, and I have the same thought process as this guy. When he talks about how much he hates people and the reasons why, I'm like, yes, me too. His newest special is out on Netflix. Actually, they're all on Netflix, but the newest one is just as good as the other ones.
I'll have to check it out. I'm not super familiar with
talking
him,
about
so.
how his kid goes to school with somebody who identifies as a lion. Oh my God, it's one of the funniest things. They call him Rory.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Honestly, I'm not too familiar with him either, but he's been someone I've been meaning to check out.
He's so good.
I've definitely heard of him. I've never checked him out, but I'm definitely going to go watch that special. So we'll see.
Well, I don't want to ruin it since you guys haven't, really dug into it. But for anybody listening who has, you can vouch for me. This guy is just absolutely fantastic. He's been around forever.
Yeah.
He's got 5 or 6 specials.
I definitely know
Netflix.
the name.
Yeah, and he's known for stand-up comedy. He's not known for his movies. He's not in movies. He's not a movie actor. He's not a TV actor. He's a stand-up comedian. Yeah. And he's just fantastic at what he does. I highly, highly recommend. But since I have 2 picks, both of these are probably in jeopardy, but...
Ooh.
Don't take mine.
Don't take mine either.
Kevin Hart.
Son of a bitch. It wasn't going to be my next one, but how could you go wrong?
Right. Kevin Hart, I literally started watching him when he was doing those 15-minute specials when Comedy Central used to do Friday Night stand-up.
Yes.
I don't know if they still do that or not.
They don't.
Who watches Comedy
Maybe.
Central? Well,
I don't even know if Comedy Central exists anymore.
I only watch it when they have a South Park marathon.
Okay, fair. Kevin Hart, he's been around forever. He was absolutely fantastic as a stand-up comedian. Transitions into movies, great. Goes back to and still does stand-up comedy and is absolutely fantastic.
You're going to learn today. You're going to learn today.
My bullshit is your bullshit.
Wait. Kevin, no.
No. I remember one of my favorite ones from back in the day was the way that my bank account is set up. I got a check-ins and savings.
Well, that's because when your best friend is Dwayne Wade and he rents out all of Disneyland, you gotta move some money around.
What can you, you can go on and on about Kevin Hart.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's perfect.
Yeah, when he talks about his mother.
Yeah.
And how, just religious she was and just the way he does his comedy, he's very animated, he's very loud, but it just all comes together into one amazing show.
He's so based in reality, though.
Yeah,
the stories
really
he's
is.
telling are real stories.
Yes.
He just puts his twist on it.
Yeah, he definitely puts a twist on it. But that's what makes it even funnier. And every time I see one of his specials, I just die.
So was he on both your lists?
He was
definitely on my list. I was debating on going him next, but I got somebody else in mind.
It's probably mine.
Well,
Maybe.
Okay? I'm in Nebraska. I'm doing a show in Nebraska. I had to pee. So I'm on the side of the road. I'm peeing, right? I get done peeing. I look to my left. It's a big-ass ostrich looking at me while I'm peeing. He was standing on one leg like this. His body was facing this way, but his head was like this. Now, I didn't know what it was, so I didn't say anything. My friend got out the car. He's like, yo, what's that? I was like, I don't know. It's like a big-ass man pigeon. I don't know what it is, right? He's like, that ain't no man pigeon. I was like, it is a man pigeon. He took a pen, he threw an ink pen at it, right? As soon as he threw the pen at it, hit the ostrich in the chest. As soon as he hit the ostrich, his other leg came down. His body was still facing this way, but his head was still like this. Now, when his leg came down, this is when the bitch started to come out of me a little bit. I was like, you know what? We should probably go get back in the car because we don't really know what that means. You know what I mean? Like that could be a sign. That could mean like you got 10 seconds to get the fuck out my face before I kill you. I'm gonna eat your kids. We don't know what he's trying to say. So let's just get back in the car when we say
well,
that.
I
So
was
we get in the
not going
car.
to take him next because I need to get this guy on my team.
Uh-oh.
And this is going to snake you, or you're going to be like, fuck, I didn't think about this guy.
All right, hit me.
And that is going to be, and it's a little different, but I definitely consider this guy a stand-up comedian, though he does it through music and his guitar. And that's going to be my boy Stephen Lynch.
Wow.
Is on my squad.
Okay.
I should have saw that coming because
Yeah,
you
I definitely did not see
loved
that one coming.
I absolutely love Stephen Lynch. I remember me and Robbie discovered him right about the same time.
Yeah.
And we were both, well, Robbie was already playing guitar. I was learning guitar. We always like comedy. So, like, honest to God, like, 80% of my first year of learning guitar was like Stephen Lynch songs.
I remember that.
He literally helped me learn all my like cowboy traditional chords with all of his songs. If I Were Gay, Superhero. What's the one? What's the big one?
Big Fat Friend.
Lullaby. Big Fat Friend.
Special friend.
Lullaby was the good one. Yeah,
Lullaby.
was fantastic.
Lullaby. Yeah. And like I have followed this guy from like 98, 99. I mean,
That's a good. I'm listening to his music in my head.
Me too.
Right now, and I'm-
That's why I was laughing, because I can hear him. It's my big fat friend.
So what that you're a cow, I'll nail you anyhow. To this day, I still do some of his songs. I'll do Back Down to the Old Pub Instead.
Yeah, yep.
About having menstrual sex.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll do If I Were Gay. I don't find that song offensive.
No,
It's not.
What's the one, the gynecologist song?
I was just going to say that it's
yeah.
Dr. Steven.
Dr. Steven,
Dr.
that was
Steven.
it, yeah.
Dr. Stevenson. I love putting women's
I think one of my favorites is Craig Christ.
Craig.
I forgot about that.
Craig.
Forgot about that one.
That was always a classic
And
for me.
he even as an artist has like transformed himself to being sing-songy till when he came out with like Three Balloons, it was a little like gospel-y. And then he came out with Lion, and that was like what's like hipster music kind of. There was like banjo, and he hooked up with Scott Stapp's wife was like his his chick with him on there. And then I kind of fell off after Lion. Lion was probably about 10 years ago, and because then he really went into the political route, and it was like, all right, we're done. And his music turned into like his album after Lion. Every song sounded like Bob Dylan.
I got you.
And so it's kind of cool to like have one song sound like Bob Dylan, but not every song. So like Stephen Lynch to me, I mean, as funny as he is, he's fucking talented. He can sing, he can write a song, he plays guitar great.
Mm-hmm.
So Stephen Lynch, I'm very happy to bring to my team.
All right.
I like it.
You're up.
This is good for me. This is good for me because now I have two picks and I can get both the guys that I want.
One of them's going to be one of mine. I know it.
It might be, but
I know it.
Here's what I'm going to say. I have recently been binging a TV show that was very popular in the 90s, and I am going with Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay, that's a good one.
He's on my list.
Because I have never watched this show from start to finish. I've always seen a show here and there, but I can't quote it like a lot of people can. Mm-hmm. I'm beginning to see why people love this show so much.
Hey, who drafted that show in the draft?
Yeah, shut the fuck up. That was your first pick, wasn't it?
That was my
pick.
second pick. Yeah. I took
Jerry Seinfeld, and I just watching the show, and when they show the clips of his stand-up comedy in the beginning, and it just I crack up every time, and I think it's well deserving of a second pick.
Adam, I'm putting on the spot. Do a Jerry Seinfeld impression.
Oh God, those are hard.
Oh yeah, see, you put me on the spot.
Come on.
Come back to me. We'll come back
Robbie,
to me.
Why do they call it a restroom? I can't do it.
Okay, I can do a good one. Ready? What is the deal with cell phones? They are not for sale.
That wasn't bad.
That's actually pretty good.
Kind of good.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
So, I love Seinfeld. He was on my list. I had him later on my list, though, because if I'm going to be completely honest, I actually had a couple of his stand-ups, but in my personal list, he's not my favorite stand-up. So, he would have been drafted me if he was there later.
I got a couple guys in mind, too, that I still think I can get late, but...
That you can get laid?
Maybe.
Okay.
What
They
is
might be able
the
to get
deal
me.
with safe sex?
Who's your next one?
My next one, this is kind of like maybe a little sleeper because he's pretty known in the acting world, but he definitely got his start.
What is the deal with these drafts?
As a stand-up comedian, and made his debut in Living Color. Jim Carrey.
He's on my list.
That's fair.
He was on
Jim
my list.
Carrey is number 3, and I love every movie that he's been in. He's a fantastic actor, but his stand-up in his early years when he was just beginning and coming up into the comedy world is absolutely hysterical.
I agree. I agree.
And to get discovered on this In Living Color show is just incredible.
He's such a good actor that my memories of his stand-up is completely gone.
So not me. I love his stand-up.
Yeah.
I still kind of watch some of it sometimes. He's also an amazing human being. Have you ever heard the way that he, the interviews he gives and the way that he talks
he's
about
Canadian. Isn't he
Well, of
Canadian?
course. Yeah, he is Canadian,
Sure.
yeah. So, of course, he's a good person. But,
What's up, Canada? How you doing, girl?
I'm telling you, man, like that he was on my list because I thought the same thing. I was like, you guys will never think of that because everybody forgot how good his stand-up was because
So
his
good.
movies are so good.
Yeah.
But no, he's a great stand-up comedian.
He is. And I remember him just being like absolute insanity.
Yes, and he can make these faces.
And he's another one, that's very animated in his shows, and it makes it that much more funny to visualize what he's saying as he's also doing whatever. And you're right. He actually, I watched an interview with him. He actually trained his face and manipulated his muscles in his face by doing it so many times to be able to manipulate like that.
Wow.
Like the Grinch was one of they were talking about in the interview. The way he smiles, like that was all real.
Yeah.
His face was that like he
could
just
do that, yeah,
he
yeah.
just does that. It's incredible.
And that's the thing, like I can do like a lot of impressions. Like you do have to like transform yourself in your face. You just don't sit there and like
Yeah.
do
Oh,
the
yeah.
mouth. Like if you're doing that, like when he did like Clint Eastwood, like he would get like it'd be,
Yes. That was one of his good ones.
That was one of his best ones.
He did Clint Eastwood. He did Jack Nicholson.
Yeah,
Yep.
and he looks like
and
them.
And he looks like them when he does
Because
it.
you
Yeah.
kind of
kills
have
it.
to.
And he kills it.
I agree. I mean, it's a good pick. Like I can't talk about his stand-up, but I mean, we all know about his fucking movies.
Oh, growing up watching Ace Ventura,
Ace Ventura,
and The Mask.
is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Ace Ventura is always going to be one of mine. I
Ace
shouldn't have been
Ventura-
watching it when I was that young.
Oh, 100%.
Dude, I saw Dumb and Dumber in the theater.
Dumb and Dumber was fantastic.
Yep.
I saw actually Dumb and Dumber 2.
Liar,
Can
Liar.
we also Liar Liar was great, but can we also say when he did the number 23?
Amazing.
Oh my god, totally
Amazing.
different role for him. It was so good.
It wasn't
I also
a
grew up
comedy,
watching.
It was a serious drama movie, and like for him to be able to transition from being a funny man to this role in the number 23 was just.
And then he played Robbie Vegas in one movie.
He might have.
The fucking,
Upcoming.
No, the fucking Fabulous Burt Wonderstone.
Oh, right,
he looked
right.
just like fucking Robbie. He really fucking did.
The Truman Show is underrated too, and
Agreed.
I did grow up watching a
Me,
lot
Myself, and Irene is just
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
a lot of In Living Color for me.
Honey, why am
Yeah,
I
for
kissing
sure.
like I've had sex all night?
Yeah. When he was Fire Marshal Bill and all
Yeah,
that
oh, yeah,
stuff.
definitely.
Let me show you something.
Let me tell you something.
Again, another face. Like, just ran that by his face. The dog used to lick the dog was eating the shit off
I
him.
totally recommend anybody who hasn't seen any of these comedy specials. Seriously, go look them up, and you will not be disappointed.
Also, In Living Color, a lot of those guys that were on there were some of the greatest stand-up comedians of all
Oh
time.
my god.
Agreed.
Some of the greatest stand-up comedians of all
And
time.
they have great careers.
Yeah.
In that early 90s and Saturday Night Live at that time.
Oh yeah, for
That's
sure.
when
definitely.
Saturday Night Live was
Yep.
pulling Dana Carvey, Adam Sandler, Chris Rock,
Yeah.
all
Yep,
those
David
fucking
Spade.
guys. David
Yep.
Spade,
Yep.
Chris Farley, got
Yep.
all those guys.
Yep.
So like, now we're gonna move on to my third round pick, and this one is a guy I could have picked earlier, but I didn't know if I'd get lynched back. So along the lines of Dave Chappelle, a lot of comedy about his family and Kevin Hart, a lot of more like Kevin Hart, sorry, family comedy and all that stuff, and all of this guy's like. I'm like stuck in the past, like 10, 15 years ago, I feel, with all my picks. But I'm going with Cat Williams.
You son of a bitch.
Ooh, good one. Good
So
one.
he was on my list for sure,
Oh.
and I didn't think that anybody would pick him. Now I was
Yeah.
hoping to get him in like the fourth.
I love Cat Williams. And
So do I.
He's a can't-miss stand-up comedy for me. His movies couldn't tell you anything about.
Really?
Honestly, yeah.
Okay.
Couldn't tell you
I liked him in Friday After Next.
He had a couple good ones in
Yeah,
there,
he did.
but Friday After Next wasn't a movie that he starred in.
No, but he had
was
a
just
great
in
role,
it,
yeah.
you know. And I think that was probably a lot of his roles. Really, he was never like a
He
star,
wasn't an
but he was
actor.
not. Yeah, he's not
a
an
stand-up
actor. He's a
comedian.
stand-up comedian
Yeah.
who they just needed somebody to fill in this funny part in a movie.
He's so funny. His
But he's
voice,
fantastic.
his voice, his delivery.
Yes.
And like he's kind of like Kevin Hart. He's a
Yep.
little guy.
Yeah.
Small guy
Little guy
talks
like
about
Kevin
real world shit
Like
all the time.
I think my favorite skit
Have you
from
seen
him,
his latest one?
No,
It's on
I haven't.
Netflix. It is absolutely hysterical.
It
bet.
is. It's really good.
It is good. It's not as good as his previous ones, you know, but this one is really good. I
think
totally
my
recommend
favorite
it all.
skit from him is when he talked about like partying with Mexican people and getting stuck there,
Yeah.
just doing the mariachi or doing like a dance.
Yeah.
Just like, when will this end? And he's just doing the dance.
I think I liked
I love him.
when he was talking about the different strains of weed that you get
Yes.
now. And it was, this is called deaf. You mean if I hit this, I'm going to die? No, deaf. You take 2 hits of this, you can't hear shit. I got shit to do today.
Man, we used to watch that one all the time in your basement.
Yeah.
And
That
he-
was just
and
the go-to. Oh,
and-
dude, throw on Cat Williams. Dude, throw on Cat Williams.
And
You know?
kind of like Jim Carrey, he's very like wild and
Yeah,
crazy,
very
and
animated.
sweaty. He's a
Yeah.
sweaty fucking guy. He was
Yep.
always just sweating
Yeah, he's
because he's
always-
putting everything into
Yep.
it. So I'm very happy that I got Cat Williams and Dave Chappelle. Oh, I won.
What? Felicia. All right, so
Sprinkle some crack on it.
it's me. I get 3 and 4 right now, right?
Yes, sir. 2 in a row. Rockstar.
All right. I don't know if this guy's a sleeper or not. He could be on one of your lists, but I'm going with Chris D'Elia.
Yeah, he was on my list.
Yeah.
Be careful,
it-
he's canceled.
Is it D'Elia or D'Elia?
D'Elia, but he's canceled.
He's
so
back
be careful.
now. I actually went to see him in Rochester, and it was one of the funniest
He's great.
fucking things I've
He
ever
was
seen.
on my list for sure.
Yeah, all of his stand-up is great.
his comedy
He can be extremely
special is awesome.
offensive, and I
Sure.
think that's why I like him so much,
Yeah.
because he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Which is why he got canceled.
Well,
But he fought it.
no,
He's not canceled. But
he's not canceled anymore. He's back.
Yeah.
But
fantastic.
And I loved his acting.
I actually totally
Yeah, and
forgot
Whitney.
about Chris.
He was in Whitney, and
Totally
then
forgot about Chris.
it was started a show with Brett Mornin called Undateable, and I thought that was good.
yes, he wasn't undateable. That's
he
right.
did both
Yeah.
those shows, and that was great. But his stand-up is fantastic. Robbie has a man crush on him. It's okay.
I think he's fantastic. I really think he's fucking
He is
hilarious.
a handsome devil.
He's fucking funny, man.
He's
and like
very funny.
The way that he tells these stories, and again, kind of like Sebastian Maniscalco, he's very much based in like why he doesn't like people, and I completely agree. And I see a trend here with the guys that I like. They always hit my heartstrings, and I'm
Robbie
right
likes
I'm
the
with you.
curmudgeons.
And D'Elia's been around a long time.
Yeah.
He's been around a long time. I remember watching Whitney. Yeah. Imashi? Bro, I don't have to imagine. I'm right fucking here.
Yeah, he's great. That's a great pick. He was on my list probably a little later, but he was definitely on my list.
Nice.
Okay, so I did.
I totally forgot about
I guess
him.
we
I'm
do
not
have a
gonna
lot of
lie, but
crossover.
That was,
I wouldn't
that
say it
was really
snaked
good.
me, but I mean, because he was lower on my list. But
So I'm picking number 4 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I only have 2 picks left,
Yep.
and I still got a lot of lists here.
I have a ton of them in my head that I'm thinking about, and I'm just like, man, I can't pick them all, but I want to pick them all.
I know. Same. We probably could have went more rounds.
let's see where we are at the end.
You know, I got to go with Jimmy Fallon.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I absolutely love Jimmy Fallon.
Talk
I'm a
about
huge
great
fan.
at impressions.
Great at impressions. Great. He does the music
Speaking
shit.
of,
Yeah.
he does a fantastic Jerry Seinfeld. Have you ever heard his
Yes,
impression of
I
Jerry
was going to
Seinfeld?
bring it up earlier.
Amazing.
Yeah.
My impression of Jerry Seinfeld is Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon's impression.
That's what it is.
I love watching him on the Tonight Show just because, just because it's Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah,
I also
he's
love when he does the Bee
absolutely
Gees.
fantastic.
Yeah.
He's got a great impression of
Him and JT, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Barry Gibb. This is my show, and this is a no-nonsense show.
Yes.
all the shit.
Absolutely fantastic.
He's a great musician. He put out an album of all his skits, and it was great.
Yep.
I
I have the greatest SNL Jimmy Fallon DVD.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't he make an album or write a song just to prove that anybody can get to number 1? Was
Yes,
that
he
Jimmy
did.
Fallon? That was Jimmy
Yeah.
Fallon, wasn't it?
I think it was during TRL.
Okay.
It got to number 1 on TRL. It was Idiot Boyfriend.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding.
because I'm an idiot.
Yeah. I'm gonna take you out.
Yeah, he's great. I love Jimmy Fallon.
Absolutely.
It wasn't on my
fantastic.
list, but
Not on my list either.
I got so many guys here, and I'm gonna regret not picking one of them.
we
But
could do 6 rounds. That's fine. I'm
We'll
writing
see.
it down.
We'll
6
see.
rounds, maybe.
I don't know.
Right
We'll
after
see.
5.
I still think 15's good. We're gonna talk about Chris Gullo's 5, and then maybe we'll do some honorable mentions.
Is Chris Gullo on your list? Oh, I'm throwing you.
If he's listening, yes. If he's not, no.
He would have been 6th.
He would have been 6.
Just missed it.
Ooh, he was number 7.
Just a bit outside.
Definitely top 10 for sure.
Just a bit outside.
He does actually. I'm in one of his bits that he does.
He's definitely a top 10 comedian from the Buffalo, New York, Rochester
I like
area.
Oh, he's hilarious, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
If I'm being honest, he's really, really good.
Yeah,
and I actually am in one of his bits, and it's a true story, which makes it even funnier.
He is funny. I do like him. All right, back to me, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Is this your final?
Nope.
No,
we're in round
4.
Oh, that's right. I kicked it off.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with a guy who is quite possibly one of the biggest comedians in the world right now.
Shit.
And as
I hope
fun-
this isn't where I think
And
it's
as funny
going.
as he is, now I might get a little hate on this one, but as funny as he is, he makes it more funny with his little friends that he brings on.
Oh, you son of a
and I'm
bitch.
going with Jeff Dunn.
No, that was my next pick.
He is absolutely
My next
hilarious.
pick.
This is the most crossover we've had in any
You're
draft.
Unbelievable. This is Jeff, because Jeff Dunham. I literally, last year, just about this time, for my birthday, I went to see him at the arena.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Sold out. Silence! As like, so you'll get the
Are you
comedy.
virgins?
You'll get the comedy snobs that hate him, and you'll get like the like.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Ventriloquism snobs that hate him.
I think the best thing about he makes all of those puppets.
Yeah, he makes them like voices them up.
Yeah, obviously.
He turned Walter into Biden.
Yeah.
Like Walter is Biden.
Walter is fantastic. Actually, he was on my list only because Walter reminds me of George Carlin.
When Walter did I can't remember which special it was, and he's like, "What happened to you today? I got in an accident. What happened? My wife jumped on her menstrual cycle, ran my ass right over."
Walter is my favorite, man. He's so good.
Dude, Walter,
Peanut's awesome.
Peanut, Bubba J. But it just...
me, Senor Jalapeno.
So jalapeno
on a steak.
My favorite... Like, Peanuts might be my favorite, but like... Did I say peanut?
You
I said
said
peanut, right?
You said peanuts.
I
said peanuts.
Right?
It sounded like peanuts, my favorite. Yeah.
But there is just this
Peanut's
love
great.
I have for Ahmed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ahmed's great.
Ahmed, and then there was that time that he had his son, AJ, who was gay.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was just so funny.
I love Bubba J.
Bubba J.
Yeah.
Let's Bubba J. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I love Bubba J. Bubba J is great. Walter's fantastic. Walter, I think, is probably
he's the best one.
He's definitely the best.
I think if you guys are going to look for Jeff Dunham, and you're probably hating on him and shitting on him, is I think his best special is the Christmas one.
I was just gonna say that.
Agreed.
The
Yeah.
Christmas one, he was just firing on all cylinders.
Yes, he
for
was.
that. Peanut's amazing. Bubba J's amazing. Ahmed singing Jingle Bombs.
Guitar guy. Yeah.
I just love it. Guitar Guy, actually, I've told you this before. Do you remember who he is?
No.
Guitar Guy is actually the father of Avenged Sevenfold's guitar player.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes, so love it.
We now interrupt this program for a non-sponsored event.
So I'm more than happy to make Jeff Dunham on my team. So thank you. very much.
Jeffafa.
Jeffafa.
Oh, Jeffafa, you really, really suck. I actually
Great
have a
pick.
Jeff
He
Dunham
was-
and Peanut Pophead.
He
Dude.
was my absolute next pick, and I'm very upset that you took him.
So who do you got? You got 2
I
picks.
do have a backup, though.
You have 2 picks right
I
now.
do have 2 picks, but my first pick is a guy that goes by The Machine, Bert Kreischer.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever watched any of his specials.
I have. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or this guy is absolutely hysterical, and he's another one who talks real world shit, and like
And his laugh is just...
the way he laughs and the
Yeah.
way his signature is coming out on stage and taking his shirt off, and the crowd goes crazy. And look up his comedy specials when he tells about taking Russian and mistaking it for Spanish. And he goes on a Russian trip and joins the Russian mafia. It is absolutely hysterical. You will piss yourself laughing. Bert Kreischer, welcome to the team.
I'm pretty sure Bert Kreischer was... Or the movie Van Wilder was based on
Based
Bert
on his
Kreischer.
life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, that is a true story, and I think he talks about it in one of his specials. But I'm not positive.
I can't say anything about Bert Kreischer's comedy because there's certain comedians that they do stand up comedy, but I like their podcasts. And he's just one of the guys. I like his podcast. I listen to his
Yes.
podcast. I like his interplay with people. His pod, and he does a lot of stuff with like Tom Segura and stuff like that. And he is so funny. His laugh is contagious. I've been following him for a long time.
Yeah.
I just wish I could just talk more about his comedy because I'm more into his podcast. So
Yeah.
it's hard for me to say anything.
Go watch his comedy specials.
I should.
I believe they're all 3 of them are on Netflix. You should be able to. They're about an hour each. You'll absolutely hysterical.
Netflix
Have
is,
you ever watched them, Robbie?
I have, yeah.
Netflix
yeah.
is like great for
Incredible.
comedy.
Yes.
Lately, that's pretty much what I feel they focus on.
Yeah.
Which, for the price that they're charging right now, they should give me some fucking good
I
comedy.
canceled.
yeah.
Did you?
I canceled the Netflix.
Wow, you canceled
You
the
canceled
flicks.
the
I
cancel.
canceled the cancel.
Canceled
Wow.
the flicks.
Well, Adam, we're going to go into round 6.
So
right?
here's the thing.
I don't know. I don't
Here's the
know.
thing.
I think we should do 5.
All right.
I was hoping to end Jeff Dunham, Bert Kreischer. Okay. So now you totally threw a wrench in my system.
You're welcome.
You son of a bitch.
But you have another.
But I do have another. And
He's
I don't
one of
know
mine.
I don't think he is one of yours. I'm going with Bill Burr.
Okay.
Not one of mine. I actually am not a fan of Bill Burr.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I've
think
watched a
he's
few of his
absolutely
specials.
hysterical.
He is funny.
I can't get into it. I don't
Really?
know what it is. Something about him. I just don't like it.
I love it.
That's the
I think
first
he's
one we've talked
hilarious.
about that I don't like.
I think he's
He's
absolutely
huge.
hysterical.
He's one of the biggest
one of the
comedians
biggest
in the world
comedians
now.
in the world right now, and just he's got great comedy specials out there.
All right.
And
Yeah, I
love
can't
it.
give you much back with his specials. He's never stuck out to me, but he is funny.
Yeah, I think
I
he's
just
great.
can't sit there and quote
He's
him verbatim.
definitely. I mean, I wouldn't be able to quote them either. I've seen the specials. I think they're hilarious. Definitely worthy of a 6th round or a 5th round pick.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I mean, that's probably a lot of people's first round pick.
Maybe, yeah.
Just not for me, man. I don't know what it is. I've watched the specials, and every time he has a new one, I watch it. I just can't.
Oh man, I should have went with somebody else, but that's okay.
No, you just fuck him. It's not about what he likes.
No, that's okay.
That's
I have somebody else too, but
kind of. This is half my show right now.
That's right. Half our show.
So what do you got?
So round 5, there's a couple because Robbie won't let us go into 6th round, so I'm trying to decide here. I'm gonna go one that there's a slight chance it's taken from Robbie, but it also might be somebody Robbie forgot about and overlooked.
All right.
And I know it's somebody you're gonna be like, oh man, or you're gonna be like, oh, that was my next pick. So it's another comedian from about 10, 15 years ago because I'm stuck in the past.
It's probably
Okay.
who I was
Apparently.
thinking-
Well, mine are all from longer ago than
Yeah.
that.
So well, Adam drafted George Carlin who came out in the 60s.
Yeah.
So, it is a guy. You want to talk about impressions and throwing your voice and being wild on stage. Ready, Rob? I'm going to give you a quote from it. Ready? What's with Aaron Neville? It sounds like you're changing the channel.
Pablo Francisco.
Pablo Francisco has one of the most insane deliveries.
He does a really good Linkin Park.
He does everything good.
Here I go.
He goes, what's with that guy in the movie voice? And he can make everything. In the city, he sold tortillas on the corner. And the mob wanted in. I don't know who this guy is, but I want his tortillas dead.
Yeah.
He is such an insane, spastic person. I don't know how this guy never got famous.
He did really good for a minute. He really did.
Yeah, he was cranking out comedy specials left and right for a long time there.
He was.
If we're going to go into that, I'm pretty sure.
He went on tour quite a bit.
I'm pretty sure, I'm just going to, ball these guys into the Hispanic category. Out of all those big Hispanic comedians from that time. How did he not make it, but like George Lopez or fucking Carlos Mencia did?
Well, in their defense, though, I love both those guys, too.
I do, but
agree.
I think he's just way more talented.
So, there was a time period, for whatever reason, I just got super into the George Lopez show.
Yeah, it's a great show. I love George Lopez, but
I love his stand-up more than the show, but I got really into that show for a minute.
You mean his sitcom or his
The sitcom.
talk show?
The sitcom.
He's got another sitcom now.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know.
everyone loves George Lopez. It's just like if I'm going to lump those Hispanic comedians that got famous, they both got shows around that time. Pablo Francisco got nothing.
I loved Pablo. I have his stuff, his ones that he released on DVD back when we weren't streaming, and I was buying those.
Right.
I think he is underrated, and I did not forget about him. I did write him down just in case. But I loved him, man. For the longest time, I thought he was just the greatest thing.
Spastic, wild, great at everything.
Feed it some lettuce. Feed it some lettuce. I used to love that.
Easy huevo. See.
Who ordered the...
Hey, check it out. I got my liver pierced. Don't touch it all. Shit.
What was this thing at Denny's when he was the stripper?
Yeah.
Oh, I ordered some sausage. I ordered some sausage.
He was so good.
He was really good.
That's a good pull.
That is a really good pull. I like that.
I'm happy to end my list with him, but I wanted to end my list with somebody else, so I'll convince Robbie to go 6.
At this point, I'm thinking we go 7.
Okay, well.
Hey,
All right, it's official. We're going 6. Let's go.
We're flying through it.
Fuck it. Do you want to just do 7?
Sure, let's go.
All right, we'll do
Robbie.
7.
Who's your next? Who's your 5 then?
I'm doing 5 right now?
Yeah.
Yep, 5 and 6, but this is your 5th pick.
Oh, man. This is actually still going to be tough to narrow these down. I'm going to go for number 5, David Spade.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's a good
all right.
pull.
I'm a huge David Spade fan in general.
definitely.
He has a newer stand-up that's out. I don't
He
think it's
does.
Netflix. I think it's on Paramount or something.
Either way, I watched it.
It was so
It
good.
was very good.
I've never laughed so hard as when he started doing an impression of his mom's dog. I almost died. I was laughing so hard. I wasn't alone. I was sitting here on the couch and she just looked at me and she was laughing at me, laughing at him because I was just losing my shit. He was so good, man. And he was good then. He's good now. And there's a toss up between a couple guys I was going to go with, but you brought him up earlier and I didn't say anything because I was like, I don't want one of these guys to take him before I get him. But David Spade definitely has to be on my list. And of course, if you think about his movies like Tommy Boy and Black Sheep and things like that.
He's got a podcast now.
Yes.
He does.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Him and Dana Carvey.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very
I
good.
actually subscribe to it. I listen to it. And
very good.
if you
He
guys are...
doesn't subscribe to the fantasy football, bro.
I do, actually.
Bullshit.
I do, I swear.
Let's check the numbers.
But I'll tell you, he is in a newer movie. It's probably like a year or two old now, The Wrong Missy.
I love that movie.
It's so good.
Never seen it.
It's so
Dude,
good.
you have to watch this movie.
Yes, you will piss your pants.
It is very funny.
And I gotta say, I know everybody, thinks like he was Chris Farley's sidekick or Adam Sandler's sidekick.
No,
David Spade is so good.
Perfectly fine on his own.
He was Chris Farley's sidekick for movies, but you gotta remember he was in Just Shoot Me
Yes.
for a long time, which was hilarious. He was in one of the funniest shows ever, Rules of Engagement.
Rules of Engagement is one of my favorite shows.
I don't think any of us drafted that, by the way.
Oh yeah, what the hell?
Just all forgot
actually.
about it. I love that show, and him and Russell and all of them. It's so funny. So like, I love it. That's great. That's a great pick.
That's a good pick.
It's an absolute great pick. Well, what's round 6 then?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Chris Gullo is round 6.
Are we gonna go 7?
You said
said
so.
Okay, then if we're going 7, then my number 6 is Mike Epps.
Oh, wow.
Yep, Mike
Nice
Epps.
pull.
I love. He also has a newer one
He
out.
does.
That's really
and
good.
it's really funny.
Yeah.
Did you guys...
That motherfucker could be
Speaking
canceled
of-
at any minute.
Oh, yeah.
At any
Epps
minute.
And Cat Williams. Did you watch the Snoop Dogg special?
Of course I did.
Oh my god. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Also, Mike Epps has a show on Netflix that keeps coming out with new seasons called The Upshaws.
Yes.
And it's so good. man.
I haven't heard of it. I haven't just thought of him in so long.
He's one of my favorites.
He
I
was
have all
another-
his stuff on DVD. His new
Yeah.
one is fantastic.
He was another one that we sat down and quoted and just anytime, anywhere, we were, whatever the occasion was.
Throw 20 down, the feds is on
Yeah.
it.
I just remember his one skit. I'm on everything.
Yo, where you
But
get that
we
at?
painkiller, cigarette, speed, Hennessy, vodka. And I remember that. Like I remember that. And then Eminem actually like used that in one of his beats.
Yeah.
I thought that was fantastic. I totally remember that. Like he's great. I mean, what was he? He was in Friday, right?
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
in
he was in Friday.
The Hangover?
the second and the third
was
one.
in
He was in
Hangover.
Hangover. He
Yeah.
was the wrong Doug.
Yeah. He was black.
He was
Dog.
black, though.
Black Doug, that was
Yeah.
it. Not the wrong
quit
name.
it with that shit. He's great. Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
pull.
Absolutely love Mike Epps.
Oh, where
I
you get that at? I stole it from Michael Jackson in there.
go get your pit bull. Let's let him fight.
Yes.
Well, here's a comedian for me that I don't know if you guys know, but he's canceled. He's probably canceled. You want to talk about offensive comedian? This guy is one of the most absurd comedians I've ever heard, and like he takes it to a level which gets uncomfortable.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I know who
takes
you're
it
gonna
to a
say.
level.
I think so, too.
Do you think so?
Yep.
He's so offensive that he had a show on Comedy Central about being so offensive, and that's Anthony Jeselnik.
Jeselnik. I knew it.
He is so
They
ridiculous.
say, I love your skin. It'll look really great. Stretch over my lamp.
He is so ridiculous. His dry ass delivery. He's so monotone, but like just everything he comes out of his mouth. I'm like, why did he just? Did he just say that?
Some finish lines are never meant to be crossed.
He's so dry. He's just so. Oh my god! Like he's just somebody that I wish I listened to more. Like his stuff.
good.
I had one of his CDs
Very
called
good.
Caligula, and it was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
and
That's
mean,
funny.
the dude makes rape jokes. You know, the dude is
All
just,
kinds of jokes,
He goes too far, and he's kind of canceled, but I don't know if he's really canceled.
No, it wasn't. I like your skin. It was. What's that tattoo going to look like when it's stretched out over my lamp?
He's so ridiculous. I love him. He's like, he gets to the
I'm
point
not
of
super
uncomfortable.
familiar with him, but
He's
I'm definitely
good.
gonna look him up.
He's dark.
Very
I'll have to look him
uncomfortable.
up.
It's like if
It's
you're
uncomfortable, yeah.
It's,
I'm okay
it's a
with
lot.
that.
It's a lot, and
okay
it's
with
so.
But
Like,
you have to be. So anybody who's listening who doesn't know who he is and they want to look it up, you have to be willing to go in a dark place.
and you need to understand it's comedy.
It's a joke.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you right now, he will offend absolutely everyone
Yes.
if you take it seriously.
He's not up there dropping N-bombs. Nothing like that. Just some of these topics he's getting on, and some of the things he's saying is just like, bruh. Like, it's probably on Spotify and all that stuff. Because it was a CD I bought called Caligula. Like, it's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. And I wish I knew more of him. And it's just somebody like, I don't know if he's one of my favorites, but like this. But I just wanted to give him a little shine and a little.
that's
love,
fine.
you know?
That's fine.
Love it.
So
Back to you.
Back to me for 2.
Yep.
All right.
You're finishing this out.
I am going to finish this out. My number 6. I'm going to go with the guy, R.I.P., Mitch Hedberg.
he was on my
Oh,
list.
wow. I knew he'd be on yours.
Mitch
Absolutely,
Hedberg was one of the funniest guys.
Honestly,
And
he was
just
going there if I
his dry comedy and just the way he presented it, just
An escalator cannot break. It can only become stairs.
if I saw a dog walk into a store and steal a loaf of bread, I would let him go.
I love
it. I love it. Rest in peace. He died way too young.
Yeah.
He's probably in his
He was
30.
Yeah, he was definitely in his 30s.
They're all gone. By
Love
the way.
Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, Mitch Hedberg was definitely on my list. I might have taken him. I kind of wish I took him over Jeselnik, but like I kind of wanted to give Jeselnik love. You know what? I'm going to go home and listen to Mitch Hedberg because I haven't listened to him in so long.
Is this draft like we've had the most crossover ever? Everything we've said.
I think we did. Yeah,
I told you that. You're like, no, we won. I'm like, what?
I thought for sure me and him.
Yeah, no, I don't think we had too many actually. Him and I had.
It was spreading around.
Yeah,
pretty.
We kind of all were like, oh damn, oh man.
Well, who is round 7? Who you had in your screens?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Your screens
because I didn't write anything down because I'm a rebel like that. Yeah, I had one in my head and I totally forgot it, and it was a really good one, so I don't remember what it is. But
do you want me to draft for you?
No, actually, I have a different one. I'm gonna go with Brad Williams. I don't know if you ever heard of Brad Williams.
Oh, the little person?
The little person.
Oh.
He is absolutely hysterical. And I totally recommend you looking and watching one of his comedies. But dude, because he's a little person, it makes it 10 times funnier. And the way he talks about it,
he doesn't care. He goes right for it.
And he doesn't care either. He's another one of those guys that's just raw, and he'll tell it like it is, and it is absolutely hysterical. Brad Williams, you're on the list, number 7.
That's a good one. You're going to get a lot of like comedy nerds and purists with that one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to turn them all off here.
Go.
Because he needs to be on my list because he was one of my favorite comedians for about 15 years, and that's Dane Cook.
Nice.
And I know a lot of people are going to shit on him, but you cannot put on Harmful with Swallowed, and you cannot put on what was that next one?
Vicious Circle.
Retaliation. That era of Dane Cook, 98 to like 2005. It's one.
And then he just shit all over himself and fucking started to suck. I went to see him and I was like, "This is awful."
Well, because he kind of got clean and like politically correct.
No, he was just reusing shit and just doing it in a different way, and it was just shitty.
If we're talking about those whole eras, talking about
Harmful if Swallowed is always going to be the best.
Like,
definitely.
Sir, you're going to see a guy in a yellow poncho. Yeah. He's going to take you to the Whopper layer.
That was
His name
good,
is Hank. Take a left.
Yeah.
And if you don't get there in 10 minutes, we eat your food.
Yeah.
I love it. Or when
and the pickles.
And the pickles. We use that in the Fantasy Football Bros.
Can't get in without Coops.
You can't get in without Coops. Hello.
Why did the shark attack you? Were you taunting it?
Yeah, I like to go in the ocean sometimes with a thing called the shark rocket, and I shoot it at them.
And then I wade there, and they come at me.
But I got this little swim move that I learned from the dolphins. I'm like a bottleneck.
He was really good then.
He was awesome.
Yeah,
like,
he was
that's the same thing, because that's what I listened in comedy. I seen him a few years ago. You're right, he wasn't as funny.
Yeah.
I was a little let down, but that era of Dane Cook, you just think about like a fucking tire hit her in the face.
Yeah.
Like his delivery kind of like,
I wanted to say, "Sir, you're about to get struck by a vehicle," but all that came out was
oh, nice Superman shirt. What if somebody came up to him and just shot him in the chest?
Yeah.
Super bleeder.
Don't wear the shirt.
It's fucking super bleeder over here. So I absolutely love Dane Cook from that era, and I know the purists.
I mean, it is a good pick. He was.
It is.
He was.
He was young, handsome, on top of the world,
and in the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds.
Yep, and in
who
Employee
I
of the Month.
absolutely love. Yeah,
and an Employee of the Month. This is an '89 Honda. How dare you?
That was a good movie.
So like,
that was fantastic.
Was that Jessica Simpson?
Yep. Jessica Simpson and Dax Shepard.
Dax Shepard, yeah.
So, that's why a lot of people hate him, because in like 2002, the guy's like 28 years old, selling out arenas, handsome as fuck. Like, he's just like, he was the rock star of comedy when we were teenagers.
He was,
yeah.
So,
he was.
like, to me, I love him. Like,
all right.
A lot of people shit on him, just like a lot of people shit on, say, Andrew Dice Clay from like a decade before.
Yeah.
Right? So that's just what happens when you're the biggest.
So
a lot of people shit on Jeff Dunham.
They do.
These guys are selling fucking arenas.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's what it is. It's just like bands. Like, a lot of people like us shit on you too.
Me too?
Yeah. But like bands like you too. Why? Because they're selling fucking stadiums.
I was
think they suck.
literally just talking about this the other day, about how U2, I will never own anything that they put out. I've seen them live, and it was actually impressive. But as far as going out and buying anything that they put out, absolutely not.
Right. So like Dane Cook, Andrew Dice Clay, those guys were like U2, like the biggest.
Yeah.
So everyone's like.
No, I agree.
So that's the problem with it. But I love you, Dane Cook. So welcome to the squad.
Andrew Dice Clay was one that I was going to talk about with George Carlin. Like, that was like a road paver, and Sam Kinison.
Oh, yeah, Sam Kinison.
Yeah, but those are not either one of my number 7 picks. So my number 7, I'm tossing up between two guys. I'm either going to go my childhood, or I'm going to go my teenage years into now, because he just had something come out during COVID.
Or around 8.
Or what?
Or around 8.
Adam didn't write anything down.
That's okay. I'll figure something out by the time it gets back to me.
It's your call.
All right, I'm going to do them both.
Okay, round 8.
My first one is going to be Marlon Wayans.
Okay, all right.
Ooh, good one.
I fucking love Marlon Wayans stand-up, and that's not to put any of his movies down, because I love all of his movies too, but his stand-up is so good, and it's still so good. And I mean, if you watch anything that he did 20, 30 years ago, it was just as good as it is now.
Yep.
This dude has been on fire his entire career.
Another facial guy.
Yes,
Yep,
100%.
absolutely.
And I love his movies, Haunted House and Scary Movie
Yeah.
and like all that stuff, but like his stand-up is
How
so
High,
good.
right? Wasn't he? Or no, that was Method
No,
Man.
that was
Sorry,
Method Man,
sorry.
yeah.
They were Method Man.
You got Method Man and Marlon Wayans confused?
Yes, because that was about the same time as Scary Movie.
Yeah, you're right.
So, like,
yeah,
I
you're
just,
right,
in my head, those were together, yeah.
Shit, I keep
You know what I
thinking...
was thinking of when he got smoked up? By the
And-
big
yeah,
plant
yeah.
in Scary
Yeah,
Movie.
in Scary Movie,
That's
yeah.
what I was thinking
Yeah.
of. But How High.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting high as shit in here, man.
I'm trying to think of... So here's the thing, though, is I could still pick... I still have, like, a few more, but, oh, damn, this is tough. Do I want to put this one on my list or another one? All right, I don't want to go all in living color, guys, here. So, I'm actually going to go with another musician. His name is Bo Burnham.
Bo Burnham, that's a
And
good one.
he is
That's a good one.
He
fantastic.
escaped me. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yep.
Good job.
Take off your bras and burn 'em.
Let Bo Burnham burn him. One of my favorite quotes from him, from Bo Burnham, is, "I met a fat chick and I fucked her in the elevator. It was wrong on so many levels."
Yes.
I
Yeah.
love it.
I like, I got a dick full of helium. I'll fuck you up.
Yeah. He's great.
Yeah.
He was one of the first original like YouTube guys.
Yes, he
making
was.
Success.
He's super funny, and even in his one special, he just did haikus, and he would ring the bell in between.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite ones is, "My aunt said, slow and steady wins the race. She died in a fire."
He's ridiculous. That's a good pull.
Yeah, yeah. So
that's cool.
I'll give him the final spot in my
Okay.
list.
So the final spot for me, got a couple of like ringers on here, but I'm just gonna skip it over to somebody that I used to like. Another guy that's very controversial. Another guy that's very open, including like sexually and about his like kinks and fetishes, and probably canceled. No, because he's got a radio show. And I'm going with Jim Norton.
Oh, that's a good one.
Jim Norton.
Crank Yankers.
Yeah, Jim Norton and Crank. Well, he's on with Sam. What's his name? The guy that's always on wrestling, Sam Roberts.
Yes.
He's got that show.
Yeah.
He was always on Opie and Anthony. But Jim Norton's his Monster Rain fucking CD is so funny, and then he's very open about like his kinks. He's a real like perverse guy, and he talks about like women shitting on his chest and stuff. And just the way he delivers the stuff. What did he? I'm trying to remember this clip. He's like, my girlfriend called me, and she's like, "We're out of toilet paper. What do I do?" He's like, "Well, is this a situation, or are you knowing ahead of time?" She goes, "No, I'm here. I don't know what to do right now." He's like, "I don't know. Figure something out. You're 14 years old."
Oh, you can't say that in 2023.
No, like,
That is fucking
he's so ridiculous. And like you would talk about my friend used to play this game. Me and this one kid used to play this game. It was called Monster Rain, and he would go like, "We're gonna run around and play hide and go seek, but we call Monster Rain. We go and we hide under the patio." So he calls out Monster Rain, and we go under there, and I blew the fuck out of him. I'm like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?" And it's probably true, unfortunately.
Probably.
Stuff. And he talks about like I said, women dumping crow's nests of shit on his chest.
Oh, Jesus.
Like he is absolutely ridiculous to stand up. And some of the funniest like sketches on like Crank Yankers and Opie and Anthony and Sam and Robert shows. So like, I know he's a lot.
He is a lot.
He's a lot.
We've had a few of those that are though.
Yeah, like Jeselnik and him, but Norton's like Jeselnik's meant to be offensive. Like where I kind of believe everything Norton says,
Yeah, you're
Honestly.
you're right. You're right. Yeah.
and he's a big metalhead.
Yes, he is. He does that metal show.
Yeah. Well, no, that was Jim. That was Jim Florentine.
Yeah, but doesn't he come on there?
He might have.
I thought he had like a guest spot on there. Am I wrong?
He might have came on. I remember another joke where he's like, "I don't know. Women come over to my house and I got shit on my wall like Black Sabbath getting inducted in the Hall of Fame and Kiss records." My girlfriend was like, "Why don't you put shit that I like up there?" So I didn't know what to do, so I hung up a dildo, and I'm like, huh? I just think he's great. So Jim Norton,
I like
that's my final guy.
You got a number 8?
I do have a number 8.
What do you got?
So this guy I saw before he was anything, or he was just beginning to be
Oh,
something.
we're getting hipster over here.
Yeah,
A little bit, yeah.
Good hipster.
I'm going with Pete Davidson.
Okay.
Because
Oh, okay.
if you've ever seen him live, like
He's
I
really
have,
good.
He is hilarious, and his comedy special is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. His delivery is awesome, and the way he talks about it is just hilarious.
He is actually very good.
And he's very funny in everything that he does. I love it. Pete
looks like he's
Davidson,
12.
he does. He looks young, yeah, but
Guys, we have 24 comedians we talked about, and I still have honorable mentions.
there's a ton of
you got any
honorable
honorable mentions?
Oh yeah, no, of course I do.
What you got?
One of the ones that I could have put on my list that I love to watch, Mr. Fluffy himself, Gabriel
Gabriel.
Iglesias.
That's a good one.
I love him. He is hilarious.
Chocolate cake.
Oh yeah.
So, Adam, your list was George Carlin, Jerry Seinfeld, Jim Carrey, Burt Kreischer, Bill Burr, Mitch Hedberg, Brad Williams, and Pete Davidson.
That's a hell of a lineup.
That's a
good
good
list.
lineup. And your honorable mention, you're going with Fluffy.
Yeah, Mr. Fluffy himself.
A couple of my things that I just want to mention is one of the funniest comedian specials, and I could have had it in there, is Eddie Murphy, Raw.
Yes.
I thought about Eddie Murphy as well. Yeah, he was
Fantastic.
I got my
definitely-
ice cream.
Yeah.
You cannot have some.
A guy who I thought was like the second coming of Eddie Murphy, and he never got big. Talk about, oh no, it's not A Living Color, it was Mad TV. Ari Spears. Ari Spears is fucking hilarious, and he does like all these great impressions as well.
He does, yeah.
He's actually really good too. I saw him.
He was
at-
hot for a minute.
Yeah, I had his one CD. I think it was called "They're Coming to Get You." They had like a rope around his neck on the cover. I was like, "Holy shit, Ari Spears!"
I saw him at Helium. He was really good live. Very
I love
funny.
him. I love him. And then a couple of like ringers that are great at stand up that doesn't get enough credit is Robin Williams and Adam Sandler.
I don't like Adam Sandler, but yeah.
Oh, Adam Sandler's stand up and his like audio CDs are fucking brilliant. And then an under the table guy. I love this guy's podcast. I've listened to it for 13 years. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him, but if you haven't at home, check out Ryan Sickler.
I know what you're talking
That
about,
guy's
yeah.
absolutely hilarious. So I actually like got my whole list on.
So what's your actual
My
list?
actual list is Dave Chappelle, Stephen Lynch, Cat Williams, Jeff Dunham, Pablo Francisco, Anthony Jeselnik, Dane Cook, and Jim Norton.
All right. Well, let me do my honorable mentions before you run down mine. So, some guys that I didn't get to that are all from In Living Color were Jamie Foxx,
Okay.
Tommy Davidson, and David Allen Greer.
Okay.
I love all those guys. I just didn't want to have a very In Living Color heavy lineup. Also, underrated stand-up, Tim Allen.
Okay, yeah.
Very funny at the stand-up.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know if you guys like him as much as I do.
Oh, yeah, I
but,
love Tim Allen.
yeah, so those were all my honorable mentions. I thought that those all could have easily made my list.
Oh, for sure.
And then your list were Sebastian Maniscalco, Kevin Hart, Chris D'Elia, Jimmy Fallon, David Spade, Mike Epps, Marlon Wayans, and Bo Burnham. Take
Sorry,
off your
guys.
bra and burn 'em.
I think I won.
No way.
Before we do this, though, I have to read off Chris Gullo. So my buddy Chris Gullo is a stand-up comedian. He's very funny.
Yes.
And, so I asked him, originally I asked him for 5 because I thought we were only going to go 5 rounds. So these were his top 5, and we'll see if you guys, you're going to be like, oh, I didn't think of that one. His first one was Jim Brewer.
Ah, Jim Brew's
Good
awesome.
one. Yep.
Maria Bamford.
Okay. Some lady representative.
Yep. That was my other honorable mention was Whitney Cummings.
Whitney Cummings
Very
would have been
funny.
my lady. Yep. or Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman was
Ali
good,
Wong
too.
is hysterical.
And what was her name?
Amy Schumer.
Amy
Amy
Schumer.
Schumer's
Yeah.
really good too. Yeah.
Gary Goldman.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah, Jim's great.
And a very underrated guy for his last one, John Mulaney.
John
Very
Mulaney,
good.
he's good, but he was so like a hipster, like
I love it.
he was. Yeah,
John
he was-
Mulaney is really good.
There was like a time where like John Mulaney is going to take over the world. He's right on Saturday Night. He's got his sitcom with Martin Short, and then it all went.
Well, I'll tell you what, people who are listening, follow Chris Gullo
Yes.
on social media. I'm just looking up his Instagram real quick. Oh, it's actually just Chris Gullo, and that's Gullo. So check him out. Not only is he a stand-up comedian, he's a professional wrestling ring announcer, manager. So he does a little bit of everything. So check him out, man.
It's at TheFantasy what? So Fantasy Football Bros. Sorry.
I don't even think that's it. By the way, I think it's
the
FFB.
FFB pod.
That's what it is. Well, Robbie, thanks for joining us on the Fantasy Football Bros podcast.
And thank you guys for joining me on the All Bets Are Off podcast.
Did you watch Super Bowl?
No, I was actually driving to Brooklyn.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. It was actually a good game.
It was a very good game.
I was keeping up with it on the drive. I kept checking the score every chance I got.
Did you win any money, Adam?
I won $10.
I won 100 because I was smart and bet on Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, I had a feeling it was the Chiefs. I don't know what it is. Patrick Mahomes is just the guy.
He's the best quarterback in the league.
100%.
I will stand by that. And
We're Josh Allen fans, but like
Sure.
Pat's magic. He's got something in him.
I'm a Patrick Mahomes fan.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
That's fine.
I love him.
He's great. He's a great quarterback. Absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic quarterback.
And even as I was driving, I kept checking the score. I wasn't even worried. When I saw they were down, I was like, nah, he's clutch.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Bills fans hate him because he whoops our ass all the time. Same thing with Tom Brady. We hate Tom Brady because he beat us for 20 years. How about you beat him then?
Is Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes the new Jim Kelly and Dan Marino?
Yeah, that's 1 and 2.
I think so.
Absolutely. It's 1 and 2 in the league. And it's arguable who's who. Josh Allen has the better arm, but Patrick Mahomes is just magic.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes he's clutch, like I said. He comes in clutch with these plays.
Patrick Mahomes might have the second best arm and the second best accuracy behind Josh, but he's just magic. But Josh is too, so it's like, it's weird.
They both make plays.
Yeah.
The unfortunate part of the Bills game is that they just rely too heavy on him.
That's very true.
So, of course, you're going to break down. Just part of the game.
Well, we're going to have some more football content coming up soon. Yeah. So we'll get there, and Robbie knows nothing about it. But Robbie will...
That's right.
I'm going to have some more rock and roll interviews coming that I haven't name dropped yet, but they're going to be pretty good, man.
Adam Van Houten.
Yeah.
The no nickname, no nonsense.
He's releasing his debut rap album.
Yes, he is. Yep. Yeah, and that's what it's called, right? No nickname, no nonsense.
That's right.
He's going to tour and open up for Eric Van Houten.
Drops on July 1st.
And guys, send us some of your favorite comedians because I want to know if there's anybody that we all overlooked, including Gullo, like the four of us together. Because we got 24, he gave us 5. So we mentioned
so many more comedians out there that we didn't even mention.
We got to end out with a skit or something.
Oh wait, by the way, Dana Carvey is also one of my honorable mentions because his stand-up is fantastic.
He's insane. He's an insane.
I mean, nobody even mentioned Richard Pryor.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, we didn't go too old. Carlin was transcending.
Yeah,
for times, you could have went old. You could have went, even though he was canceled, Bill Cosby. He was a great stand-up comedian too.
Or like Fox. I said, Sam Kinison.
Yeah, Sam Kinison. So we need to end up because this is Fantasy Football Bros podcast. We always end in a song.
Oh, okay.
So why don't we pick a Stephen Lynch song?
Sure.
Why don't we go with
Dr. Steven?
You want to go with Dr. Steven?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's it.
All
right. So this is the All Bets Are Off podcast and the Fantasy Football Bros podcast, all in one. Ending with Stephen Lynch, Dr. Steven.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Make sure you subscribe to both of us.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Later, guys.
See ya.
No words, it's just this. I'm a rich and famous doctor. Always thought I'd be an expert in the field of gynecology. Next on my agenda, checking your pudenda. Let me see what I can find. If you get your nerve up, slip inside the stirrups. A single thought will cross my mind. I love putting women's minds at rest. I love pushing myself to be the best. Dr. Steven's in. I've got magic fingers, the doctor of the year. There's not a lip that I can't read, a pap that I can't smear. When your legs are open, I begin the groping, but I fear I must be blunt. I would just as soon not go near your balloon, not think that I'll stick to your front. Thank you. I would never say cunt to an audience. Ever.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.